First of all, before we start this video, I would just like to say that the GOAT is back. Kendrick Lamar just released his first single from his album he'll be dropping this Friday, The Heart Part 5. In this song, he sheds light on some of the detrimental things we as a community glorify, all in the name of culture. He begins the video with the quote, "I am all of us." This stood out to me because, as human beings, although we have our own differences and our own originality, we are all one, especially when it comes to people who share the same race as you. Your ancestors are their ancestors are yours. When you disrespect your women, you disrespect your mother. When you disrespect your men, you disrespect your father. For selfish reasons, we often disrespect each other to get clout and validation from the eyes of another. Moving on, he comes in with the Marvin Gaye sample, which was a great artistic choice considering what Marvin Gaye means to the culture. Then it begins.
I come from a generation of pain will murder his minor.
He starts rapping and hints on some things he's had to endure growing up in the neighborhood that he did, which many people in our community can relate to and often bond over. Drugs, gun violence, crime, gangs.
Make the wrong turn, be your will of the will alignment, residue burn, that's culture.
One of my favorite parts about the video was the artistic angle. Whoever directed this video did a really good job. The video may look simple in the beginning, but when the second verse comes around and he changes faces and begins to speak from the perspectives of each person is a major key. Because we so quick to judge one another instead of extending grace and putting ourselves in that person's shoes, that element brings the entire song together. I honestly don't think he could have released the song without the video. That was just like the cherry on top. The first person he morphs into is OJ.
My culture, to let y'all know what a nigga look like in a bulletproof Rover.
Speaking on the acts of crime. Then steps into Kanye.
Friends bipolar, grab you by your pocket.
Talks about mental health and the struggle of trying to get ahead. Third, he's on Jussie Smollett.
Location, witness protection, they go hold you. It's another peer's been executed, history repeats again. Make amends, then find a nigga with the same skin to do it.
Witness protection and the constant cycle that's been going on before me or anyone watching this video was even born. How we always take 2 steps forward to move 10 steps back.
That's culture.
We crack a bottle to cope with the pain, laugh to keep from crying, pretend like nothing happened, forget about it, and continue to cycle. And that's exactly what our problem is. From all that unreleased trauma and pain, we become hardened. We harden ourselves, we harden our women, we harden our children, and we over-harden our men, making it extremely difficult for anyone who looks like us to ever show any ounce of vulnerability. He transitions to Will Smith.
In a land where hurt people hurt more people, fuck calling it culture.
And then
take the drums out.
He goes in.
Sacrifice personal gain over everything, just to see the next generation better than
With
ours.
the most heartfelt verse in transition, paying homage to Nipsey Hussle.
I bleed through the speakers, feel my presence, until the killer that spared up my demise. I forgive you, just know your soul's in question. I completed my mission, wasn't ready to leave, but fulfilled my days, my creator was pleased.
Losing someone prematurely, especially due to unnatural causes, has been at the top of the list of problems with the culture. It's a bittersweet thing, more bitter than sweet for obvious reasons, but when you remember the mark they left on this world and the mission they were sent to accomplish being fulfilled, you know their life wasn't in vain. And as long as their memory is kept alive, they will live forever.
I don't need to be in flesh just to hug y'all, and I can't blame the hood the day that I was killed. You had to see it, that's the only way to feel.
There are many reasons why I appreciate Kendrick Lamar as an artist, especially after releasing this. Ever since it started, hip-hop has been an outlet and guidance for the young. So for Kung Fu Kenny and a few other artists who provide valuable content that doesn't encourage the demise of the young, of the culture, that right there is light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe this time we'll finally get it right. For the culture.